Welcome to this month's TBR Tailspin round, and we have a lot to talk about. First off, I want to thank everyone that watched and voted in my series I want to continue video, where I asked you guys to help me pick which series I would be continuing on with and making a vlog about. I'm really glad that all 5 of the options I provided you appealed to someone. There was a vote for every single series that I put out, but we did, after a lot of back and forthing, there was no clear winner for a long time, end up with a tie. So you guys decided that I should continue with The Vampire Chronicles by Anne Rice and with Dungeon Crawler Carl by Matt Dinniman. Since the votes were split equally between the two, I've decided that I'm gonna try and get both those series onto my TBRs over the next couple of months. For the Dungeon Crawler Carl series, I'll be reading the next 2 books, and that wraps me up and keeps me up to date. For the Vampire Chronicles, there are another 10 books in the series that I'm rereading, so I'm probably going to focus on reading the next 3 or 4 and getting you a vlog about those, and then we'll see where that goes. For today's video, I am joined by Amanda from Amanda's Booktopia. I'm going to link to her channel in the description below. Amanda has been so amazing and such a real champion of me and my channel ever since I met her during, I think it was Realmathon last year. She's been fantastic. She has been really supportive and offered me lots of advice on various topics. She has a fantastic Discord group that you can join. I'm sure you can find the link at her channel, but it's very casual and very welcoming, very community based and very supportive. She's also had me on as a guest host along with Reads Readers for one of their monthly book club discussions. We talked about The Blood of Hercules and had very differing opinions. We've also done a couple of buddy reads together. So I think Amanda is fantastic and you should definitely go follow her. If you like romantasy and romance especially, Amanda has some fantastic recommendations and does some fantastic book box unboxings. Amanda has also been incredibly brave and let me know that for these Tailspin rolls, she is actually gonna pick her books in the moment from the cart that she will have at her side. She doesn't need to go away and think about them, and I am in awe of the organisation and the courage that must take, because I personally need to overthink everything. So I'm gonna let Amanda introduce herself to you. We'll go over very quickly the rules of the game and then jump into the rolls. If you want to jump ahead to anything, the timestamps will all be in the description.
Hi everyone, my name is Amanda at Amanda's Booktopia, and today, thanks to Louise over here, she invited me to be a part of her TBR Tailspin, and I am very excited because we are going to be picking our July TBR together using her game. And I am so excited to see what her game is going to bring me. I think it's going to be such a fun TBR that I am excited to see what books are going to be chosen with her game. So this is going to be a fun one. I am excited to see what's going to happen. So thank you, Louise, for inviting me. Let's get right into it.
Updrafts will throw you forward. Gliding with another dragon knocks you back. The tailspin in the middle can go forward or backwards, but it always adds a colour cover prompt to the TBR. Blue is a mood read. Green is a prompt from the prompt card stack. Purple is a personal goal. Red is a reading challenge, some kind of readathon that is happening either month-long or year-long. The yellowy orange colour means we have to continue a series, and the black is for a reread.
Okay, so we're doing it both at the same time?
Yep, well, I just rolled a 1, so I think chances are you might be in there.
Okay, this is hilarious. I just rolled a 1 also. Should we do it again?
Yeah, let's go again. Yeah. A 5.
I got a 6. I'll go with yellow. And then
Yellow?
I roll again?
Yeah, roll again, just to actually get your move.
And I get a 6.
Oh, perfect. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So the yellows are to continue a series that you're already reading.
Oh, this is perfect because for Fiction Falls, we are reading the sequel, The Night Prince by Lauren Paul Friedman. So this works perfect for continuing a series because
That's
I'm
an excellent
starting
choice.
the first book in June. So I'm excited to keep going with the series. I just feel like it's going to be a series I'm going to love. So I've heard this
Hmm.
compared to ACOTAR, but with wolves. I'm very much interested in seeing how this series goes because I believe the third book in the series comes out in September. The Wolf Queen, I think it's called.
All
So
right,
I'm very
so
excited to see how this goes.
yeah, that's perfect timing. If you read that one and the third one, you'll know if you're really excited about it.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, I got a 5, so I'm going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The purples are goals. So basically, what I usually do is I pick a goal at the start of the game, or the first time I land on a purple, usually, if I'm honest. And it's something like read library books, or work on my NetGalley arcs, or only read your physical books. And you can pick whatever one of those you want, but every time you land on a purple, you have to stick to that. So it has to be the same throughout the board. So mine is nearly always is probably going to be this time to pick a book from my NetGalley shelf because my NetGalley is just it desperately needs to be pruned. As I said in the video, for my personal goals, every month I tend to focus on getting that NetGalley backlist under control. And for this role, I'm going to pick up The Dragon Has Some Complaints by John Wiswell. I've really enjoyed his previous 2 books, especially Someone You Can Build a Nest In. I think he has really interesting concepts and really interesting ideas, especially in Wearing the Lion. So I'm looking forward to seeing what he does with this one. This is about a 3-headed dragon who has 3 very different opinions about everything, who sneaks into an elite dragon rider academy when he is injured, and is nursed back to health by a dragon rider who is desperate for a dragon of her own. The blurb says that it's a cosy fantasy which intertwines epic battles with loving friendships, sharing an utterly unique perspective on what it means to be a monster. So I love the idea that we're now kind of coming around on the dragon rider tropes and subverting it in different ways. And I think this one, I see no reason why I wouldn't love it.
Oh yeah, it's my turn.
Yeah, there's no rush.
Oh, and they get a 6 again.
Oh, perfect. You're doing well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And it's another continuous series.
Huh. Well, actually, I do have another because for our Schwabelon, we're doing it like for Fiction Falls, we're doing like reading all of E. Schwab's backlist. So for July, we will be reading the Monster Savage Songs series. So for June, we're doing the first one. This July, we're doing the second book, which is our Dark Duet, and
Yes.
that
Yeah.
Monsters of Verity series, I think it's called. So that would be
Thank you.
perfect for another continue because we already are planning on continuing the series. So
That's
that just
great.
works perfect. Both books that I'm planning on reading actually fit in the prompt so far.
No, that's great. That's what you want, nice and early, and then it means you've kind of
Mhm.
got more freedom if they end up being weird prompts later on.
Yeah. Now I don't have a physical copy of the series. However, I have it on my Kindle, so I'll be reading on my Kindle.
Um, I would like a 6 this time. I got a 6.
Yay.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So red as a those are the challenge prompts. I think I'll probably do whatever the year in Aeldia is because you get extra points if you do it in the month it's due. For my adventure in Aeldia this month, I need to read a book with a musical instrument on the cover. I think in my Buzzwordathon video at the very beginning of the year, which has the same prompt later on, I went through the fact that I was stumped here. I didn't have any books with musical instruments on the cover, and I didn't particularly think I was going to find anything. In the space of this year, I have read 2 books with musical instruments on the cover, and didn't have anything left for this. I found something though that has been on my TBR for ages. It's been hidden at the back of my Kindle, and one that I've been meaning to pick up. So I'll be reading Divine Service by Johannes T. Evans. It is a short book. It's a novella, in fact, I think, Set in a fantasy universe following the coming of age and ascension of a young demigod to the divine position afforded him by his father, and simultaneously following the struggles of a young nobleman desperate to avoid being affianced, or worse, married. I really enjoy this author's short stories, so I'm looking forward to something just a touch longer in the novella sphere.
I get to roll it.
Yep, you get to roll again.
I keep getting 6s.
Don't complain. That is what we want.
That's funny.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So that is a green, which means we use the prompt cards. So I'm going to turn one over. In fact, I don't know if I move these here. I will turn. I don't know if they're upside down or not, but we'll turn one over. There you go. It is. Please let you see a bit clearer. It is an animal on the cover.
Ooh. I wonder if my other planned read will work for this. I don't know, but I'm going to go look some kind. So yeah, Death's Daughter by S.A. Barnes. This is an arc I got off of NetGalley, so I'll be reading it on my Kindle. And I invited reading it with Jess from Honest Fiction in July. And it's perfect because it has a bird right on the cover. How about that?
Best luck with these. These are going so well.
Those are the only 3 ones I actually have planned so far, and they've all fit into the game so far, which is amazing.
Which is perfect.
Yeah, and Death's Daughter has a bird, so that's absolutely perfect.
Okay, so 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, that's a black, which means it is a reread. I put them on the board because I don't really reread, and I always tell myself, oh, I really need to reread that book. For a reread, I'll be picking up the next book I need to get to in my The Vampire Chronicles reread. That's number 6, The Vampire Armand. This is one of the histories books where we get a vampire's story from their point of view. We are following Armand in this one, who is one of the antagonists of Interview and The Vampire Lestat, getting to tell the story from his own point of view. So as well as the moments that we have seen from Louis and Lestat, we'll also be spending a lot of time in Renaissance Venice and the artistic lives there, and then some 19th century Paris and satanic vampire cults.
I will roll. This time we have a 2.
Okay. 1 and 2. So that is the red one, which, as I said, that's kind of like I would use it for kind of yearly challenges or monthly challenges.
Well, there was one yearly challenge I was working on previously. However, I kind of stopped doing it for the second quarter. However, I do have a lot of NetGalley arcs I need to get through, like so many, like not even joking. So let me see, maybe if I could find one of those. Oh, I just got accepted for another one as we're talking. I swear my NetGalley arcs just keep getting bigger and bigger. But I think I'm going to go in the order of how I got them. So we're going to go all the way to the end of my shelf. And I'm going to go for Cross My Heart, I Hope You Die by Mallory Arnold. It is a thriller that actually comes out in July. So it actually works. Comes out July 14th. It is a horror. She's the same author of How to Survive a Horror Story, which I have a physical copy of that, but I haven't read it yet. This one sounded really interesting. It's a slasher perfect for fans of John Tucker Must Die and the Final Girl support group. And it follows 3 women who lure their cheating boyfriend to a remote mountain cabin, only to realize that darkness lurks within the very walls, waiting to pick them off one by one.
I've heard of the first one, I think, and I saw pretty good reviews, but I just never got around to it.
I'm excited to try them both. Maybe I'll do a vlog reading both of them since I have a physical copy of her other one. That'll be kind of like a fun taste test video.
Yeah. A 3. So 1, 2, and 3 is the purples, which again there was that's the goal one. So again, that's gonna be another arc for me. So I'll need to pick something off NetGalley too. We're both just going to be reading arcs this month, which actually would not be bad.
Yeah, it's not bad because like I'm sure our shelves are probably humongous. Get through that.
For my next arc, I'm going to be reading The Sea Glass Blade by J.C. Snow. It's another dragon book, and in this one we are following a powerful immortal couple who have created a sanctuary for those able to use the magic of cultivation. This features a queer relationship and really strong themes of family and sacrifice. When Ali's lover is attacked, her phoenix healing disappears, a curse killing dragons targets their son, while growing demonic power threatens to destroy their daughter, and hidden deep, a traitor is waiting. When I picked it up was going to be maybe cozy, maybe younger, just from the cover, but I actually don't think it is, so now that I've got more realistic expectations, I'm really looking forward to diving in.
Right, so I have a 5.
Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you've hit the middle, you've hit the TBR Tailspin wheel. So what we do is, because you landed on green, you have to pick a book with a green cover to start.
Ooh. Huh. That would not work because I'm already reading that. All right, so I got like 3 possibilities, and maybe you can help me narrow it down. That sounds good. I have The Verdant Cage by Jess Lowry, which I know is a dystopian thriller. I haven't heard anyone talk about it yet, but it sounds really, really good. And I have a romance. I have The Front Runner by Elsie Silver. This is the 3rd book in the Gold Rush Ranch series. So I want to get through her backlist because I know Chestnut Springs I've already read is being adapted, and the Rose Hill series is being adapted. And I haven't read the Rose Hill series yet. So I want to get through her backlist and get like all of her books read, because I also just recently got her newest book, Fever Dream. I want to read her backlist and continue that. So that's another possibility. I have a historical fantasy, The Astral Library by Kate Quinn. I know there's like magical realism, and it's a bookish book. Have you ever wished you could live inside a book? So it has some green on it. So maybe you can help me decide between the 3.
I think go with the Elsie Silver, because that seemed to be the one you were the most kind of excited about.
So I definitely need to read her backlist. I definitely want to continue that series because I absolutely love the first book in the series, Off to the Races. And A Photo Finish I did also like, but I didn't love as much as the first one. But I do want to at least finish the series. So we'll do The Front Runner then. Cool.
So what we do now is I've moved your little playing ball into the spinner wheel. And what we do is we spin it, and wherever you come out, you don't need to pick a prompt for that one, but that's where you're continuing on from on your next roll. I will.
Okay.
Oh, cool. You landed on the orangey yellow, which means you've moved as far forward on the board as you can. So you're right up here now.
Oh, wow.
So on your next roll, you'll be able to go from there.
Nice. This is fun.
It's fun until you start backsliding and the numbers just keep going up and up and up. A 2. So that's 1, 2. And I'll be continuing a series. To continue a series, I'll be picking up Vampire Chronicles book 7. This one is Merrick. This is the book that sort of creates the first overlapping bonds between the Vampire Chronicles and the Mayfair Witches books. We have Louis and David Talbot go off in search of information about Claudia via Merrick Mayfair, one of the witches. This one has a really unique jungle setting that I remember feeling very dark and claustrophobic and really enjoying. So I'm excited to get to it.
Right, we have a 4.
1, 2, 3, 4.
All right. That last book would have been perfect.
So it would have.
Continue a series. What do I have on my cart where I could continue a series? It helps to like pick from my cart because that's stuff I want to prioritize. Actually, I got 3 possibilities. Maybe you can help me narrow these ones down too.
I'll take a go.
So one of the possibilities is King of Pride by Anna Huang. This is the second book in the Sin series of hers. I read the first one, King of Wrath, and really enjoyed it. And I need to continue the series. So that's one possibility. And a possibility that I have is Between Two Canes by Lindsay Straub. This is a sequel to Kiss of the Basilisk, which is a spicy romantic-y, like extremely spicy. But I really enjoyed the first one. Surprisingly, I read it all in one night. The first, so I'm like, I want to continue the series and see where it goes. I have heard the third book in the series has already been announced, so I'm curious about it. And then possibly is Radiant Sin by Katie Robert. Read the first 3 books in the Dark Olympus series and have been really enjoying it. And there's more books out in the series after this, and I'm way behind on the series. So I want to continue in that as well. I love Greek mythology.
So many books.
Yeah. You want to help me choose between those 3?
Yeah, I'm gonna say Radiant Sin by Katie Roberts because I've never read anything by her, but I do have Neon Gods. So I want you to read more from her so you can tell me if I should read them.
I really enjoyed the first 3. I think you should at least give the first one a try. So far my favorite in the series is the second book, Electric Idol.
Okay.
So I definitely want to keep going and see, because I heard there's no overarching plot as you continue the series. So I'm excited to continue, because Bree from Four Pods in the Book loves the series, and I think she put her newest book, Tender Cruelty, in her TBR recently. I want to continue and see if I could love the rest of the series as much as I've loved the other one so far. So great choice, thanks.
Cool. So
yeah,
I'm going 1, 2, 3. And that is Red, which is another of the monthly challenges. So I'll probably pick an R fantasy book for this one, I think. Because I really should work on that or I'll forget all about it. I'll be reading The Poet Empress by Chantal for the author of Colour Square on the R Fantasy Bingo. This is one I have been so excited to read. I even imported the American cover because it was so stunning, and I've heard nothing but good things about this book. I've just been waiting for the perfect moment to read it, and I think I need to get over that, so I'm going to pick this one up this month.
All right, we have a 6.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that is a blue, which is a mood read.
Actually, there is a particular book I had in mind only because I saw the sequel was announced on NetGalley. I saw that they already put the you could get the arc to it right now on NetGalley. It just got put on there like just a few days ago. And I'm like, I need to read the first one before I can decide if I want to continue.
Yeah.
Because it sounds really, really good. And I remember when I first got this, like, I managed to get it with a sprayed edge copy before they stopped doing these particular sprayed edges. And I really want to give it a go because I'm curious. I want to know if I'm going to like it to get try to request an arc for the sequel. I want to go with this Thorn Season by Kira Zar. Because the sequel that was announced is Sharpest Court, I think it is. And it's a really pretty book. So I'm like, I really want to give this one a go. And these sprayed edges are so pretty.
Oh, they're nice. They are nice. It's a very pretty book cover, actually.
And the end pages are absolutely stunning.
And I love nice end pages.
It's cool too.
That's cool. It's actually really nice as well, the hardback.
Yeah. So like, I really want to give this one a go just because I want to request the sequel, but I don't want to yet until I've read this. So I'm like, this is like the perfect time to add this in.
Yeah, because then if you don't like that one, at least you know not to request it.
Yeah, exactly. Because I mean, it sounds so good. I believe it was compared to, it's like a fantasy Bridgerton, I believe. An heiress possessing illegal magic who has more to lose than just her secrets. A harsh and glittering royal court where the threat of discovery lurks around every corner. 2 beguiling and very dangerous men who might be her salvation or her ruin. It's rose season at the palace, but survival will depend on becoming the most vicious of thorns. So I haven't heard very many thoughts on this yet. So I've heard like one person maybe talk about it. So I want to give it a go, and yeah, because it just sounds amazing.
1, 2, 3, 4. So that is a mood read for me. For mood read, I think I'm gonna stick to the real spirit of the prompt and pick something at some point during the month.
I got 2.
Oh, 2. 1 and 2, which is another prompt card, which, if I'm honest, they're my
Ooh,
favorites because then you get like another kind of challenge. So,
I love the prompt cards.
right, again, we're hoping that these are actually the right way up. Yeah. Read a book over 400 pages.
Ooh. But I got plenty of those.
I feel like they're quite good if you're a fantasy reader.
Yeah, because I am.
Yeah. Because 400 now I don't feel is that big for a fantasy, whereas if you're like a romance reader, that's maybe a bit harder.
Okay, this is definitely over 400 pages. I want to give you some possibilities. Let me
Okay.
see if, like, I want to make sure that they're over 400. I'm pretty sure they are. I got 3 possibilities if you can help me narrow these down as well. So
Okay.
I know for sure this is over 400. The Road of Bones by Demi Winters. So I've loving this
Oh,
series. And it's the
I've
Nordic fantasy that's being compared to Throne of Glass, but better. So
oh
I'm definitely interested in trying out the series because people are loving it. And then I
yeah.
also have for a possibility is The Wind Weaver by Julie Johnson. The sequel to this, The Sea Spinner, recently just came out. And I've been hearing great things about both books. So I really want to give this one a go as well. I picked this up on a recommendation from Jess from Honest Fiction because she absolutely loved this. I think she wanted to reread before the sequel. So
That is
I
really
know,
hard.
yeah. And then my
Um,
other possibility
oh,
I have is Red City by Marie Lu. I've also heard really great things about this one as well, and I haven't tried this author's writing yet. I know she's famous for her YA series Legend, I think the first one is.
mm,
So I want to try this one because I heard this is like kind of mafia, like meets the magicians, and I want to give it a shot because I've heard pretty good things. One of my friends, Judy from Coffee, Cookies, and Books on YouTube, really enjoyed this. I think she gave this like 4 stars, and so I want to try and give it a go as well. And from the way she was describing it, made me want to read it. So those are my 3 possibilities. So we have Red City, The Wind Weaver, and The Road of Bones.
oh, that's a really hard one.
Yeah.
Um, it's a really hard one. There's kind of a theme going with the covers as well. They've all kind of got red in them.
Right?
Um, I'm gonna say The Road of Bones.
That definitely helps because I would not be able to choose on my own.
That was a really hard one. I was like,
Yeah,
they all
because they
sound really
all
good.
sound amazing. I'll put these ones back. We have the Road of Bones on the TBR for July. Nice. Because Ray almost picked this as a penguin pick not that long
Oh,
ago,
so that's cool
and
then.
then he
That's like
changed his
it's getting on
mind.
your.
So
Oh,
I'm actually really excited because I've been wanting to read this series for so long. I love Throne of Glass. It's one of my favorite series of all time. And when I hear people comparing this to that series, I'm like, ooh. So, and this is I got this from Book of the Month, and I know Book of the Month has the other books in the series except for the novella, I believe. So I want to give it a go and see if I love it enough to continue getting the rest of the books from Book of the Month. It just
okay, yeah.
sounds so good. And I've been loving Nordic fantasy lately because I've been reading some Nordic fantasy and really enjoying it. So I'm excited to give this one a go. That should be fun.
That's good. Okay, that is a 3 for me, which is 1, 2, 3, and it's another continuous series. Continuing a series again, we are on to book 8 of the Vampire Chronicles. This is Blood and Gold. In this one, we are following the story of Marius, who turned up in the Vampire Lestat and then again in the Vampire Armand. This one will again give us some of those things we've seen before, but it'll also take us to ancient Rome and I think some Celtic pagan rituals. I personally find him skeevy as all get out, and I think I'm only going to find that more so now I'm older. So this one will be an interesting read. It is also a chunker, but will work for the Avatar readathon because I need to read a 650 plus page book for one of my prompts. Do you want to go?
So my turn?
You're heads and tails ahead of me.
Right. I have a 5.
5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's another green, and you're 1 away from the slide, which is the only place that could trip you up. So
Ooh.
your green prompt is a book with foiling on it.
Ooh, I love this. I think this one has foiling. Let me see. I know I got something on here that has foiling.
You get a lot of really nice books, I've noticed.
This does not have foiling. Darn it. I was hoping it did. I think I only have one book on my cart for this. I don't think any others have foil. Oh wait, actually, let me check this one. This one might. Was a possibility. So okay. So I only have one, so I'm gonna go with this one. We have The Auction by Sadie Kincaid. I've been hearing great things about this book. It's mafia and romance. And I have been wanting to read this author's work. So I wanted to read Forge and Blood by her, which is on my Kindle. But I also heard her crime books are better than her fantasy. So just from Honest Fiction, she did an interview with this author. And she's the one who convinced me I needed to give it a go. So I'm going to try and read The Auction in July. So I'm excited to see if I can get back into Mafia again. Because there was a time I used to be obsessed with Mafia books. And I haven't read a good one in a long time. I think this would be a good reintroduction back into that world again. So I'm excited to read this.
That sounds like a good choice.
I'm really loving this TBR so far.
Okay, so for me, that is another red, which is the challenges. So what have I done? I've done Aeldia, our fantasy. I will put July's Buzzwordathon book on here. This month's Buzzwordathon prompt is to read a book with a occupation in the title. So I'm going to pick up The Scarlet Alchemist by Kayla Lee Baker. I really didn't know anything about this when I picked it up. I've seen really good things about Kayla Lee Baker's other books, and the title and cover for this alone was enough to really sell me on it. Having a look at the blurb now, there does seem to be quite a lot about her being an alchemist. It seems very prevalent to the plot, so I think it's a good pick for this month. It sounds like it's going to have a competition aspect as our protagonist faces her exams and competes with other alchemists. And as she comes to the attention of the Crown Prince, it seems like we're going to get quite a lot of political manoeuvring, which you know is something I love in my fantasies.
We have a 4.
Okay, you are up here. So we are going 1, so you missed the slide. 2, 3, 4. Oh. So that's the purple, which was the goals square.
I have a good amount of physical books, but not enough arcs. Ooh, here's a good one. We'll do A Fortune of Sand by Ruta Sepetys. On my Kindle, I need to read more historical fiction. This also takes place in Detroit, which is where I was born, in 1927. And it says, Marjorie Lennox is the youngest daughter of a powerful Detroit dynasty, a family rich in money and poor in charm, creative, reckless, and never quite what they wanted. Marjorie has spent her life overlooked by her controlling father and self-absorbed siblings. When she secretly applies to an elite arts program backed by a mysterious patron, she grabs a chance to finally step out of her family's shadow. The building is grand, the talent is extraordinary, and something is deeply wrong. The program is strict in ways that feel sinister. Doors lock at strange hours. Rumors spread about women going missing. And the handsome benefactor behind it all is as magnetic as he is unsettling. As Marjorie gets pulled deeper into his world, she must fight to discover the truth before she loses herself completely. And it's a glittering gothic page-turner about power, control, and the price women pay when they demand to be seen. And this actually just came out May 26th. I'm excited to read more historical fiction. I've read one other book from this author, Between Shades of Grey, I think it was called, a long time ago, and absolutely loved it. So I need to read more from her. I'm excited to read it.
A 1.
Numbers.
I know, you're gonna have, a really good TBR, and I'm gonna have 900 books. So that's a book lap, which is another reread. For another reread, this time I'm gonna pick up The Fireborn Blade by Charlotte Bond. I read this novella last year and I had a great time with it. We are playing in multiple timelines honor by finding this mythical legendary fireborn blade and going up against a dragon to do that. And then it's interwoven with the story of how she gets there, the story of what happens when she reaches the dragon's cave, and past accounts of previous knights going up against different dragons as a kind of historical record. I had a great time with it. The ending completely threw me. I had no idea what I was expecting. And I would like to reread this one before I read the second half of the duology. It might count it for one of the Our Fantasy Bingo duology squares, but I've not decided yet. I thought though, with how many books ended up on this TBR this month, I should start to think about including some shorter books alongside those really chunky ones.
So, I think potentially this could be your last roll.
Really?
Mm.
Oh, is it my turn already?
Yeah.
I thought it was yours. Right, so I have a 3.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, and you perfectly land on the end.
I love that.
That's perfectly right on the last space.
Wow. That's funny.
So what I'll do is I will keep rolling and just rack up more prompts. And then if you want to have a think about what prompt you're going to give me as like your prize, we can
I
talk
actually
about
have
that.
an idea. Since I have my penguin deck, maybe I could pull a prompt from my deck for you?
Oh, that sounds excellent.
Right.
So that is a 6. Now I'm over here. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is a green. So that is one of these. So read a book with a name in the title. I was going to say Dungeon Crawler Carl, but they don't actually have names in the title.
Similarly, on the chunky versus novella front, I've decided for my name in the title prompt to pick Eric by Terry Pratchett. This is I want to say the 4th book in the Wizards subseries of the Discworld universe. And I've been gradually rereading the Wizards books this year. They're not my favourite subseries, considering Pratchett's probably my favourite author. But this one is quite short and I really don't remember much of it, so I'm quite looking forward to actually getting to it.
But that's probably... That is so it's another one of the greens, which book with an object on the cover.
For a book with an object on the cover, I'm going to squeeze in the Cozy Mystery Book Club's monthly pick, and that is Murder Can Mess Up Your Masterpiece by Rose Presley. This is a cozy mystery series that focuses on artists and painting and craft fairs, which I think will be a really fun summer experience. Artist Celeste Cabot welcomes the chance to show her paintings at a craft fair in her hometown of Gatlinburg, Tennessee, where she and her chihuahua Van Gogh can park her vintage trailer and sell her creations. Unfortunately, her sales take a hit when a customer returns a painting claiming it's haunted. When a fellow vendor discovers images hidden in Celeste's artwork and a ghost pays her a late night visit, she's shocked to realise she has psychic abilities. After the grumpy manager of the craft food fair is found with a knife in his neck, Celeste's brushes with the paranormal may help fill in the picture and make sure the wrong person doesn't get framed. So, a lot going on in this one. I really like a crafty cozy mystery, and a little bit of a paranormal flair sounds a lot of fun too. This is one that I might try and pick up on audiobook.
4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Thank God. I really thought, just with my luck, I was going to go down that slide and have to start basically all over again. So that's
we don't want that.
continuing. You just know it would be. So that's continuing another series. I'm gonna be knocking these series just out of the park.
To continue another series, we're going to go back to The Fireborn Blade by Charlotte Bond and actually just wrap out that duology with The Bloodless Princes. Cursed by the previous High Mage and following an incident with a supremely powerful dragon, newly promoted High Mage Saraline visits the afterlife with a boon to beg of the Bloodless Princes who rule the underworld. But Saraline and her most trusted advisor / companion / champion, Sir Madeleine, will soon discover that there's only so much research to be done by studying the old tales, though perhaps there's enough truth in them to make a start. Saraline will need more than just her wits to leave the underworld alive, and Madeleine will need more than just her fireborn blade. A story of love and respect that endures beyond death. Mair over at Lady Mair Reads has really hyped this particular book in the duology, so it would be nice to tick that off.
It's a 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And a book with nature on the cover.
That shouldn't be too hard.
For nature on the cover, I'm going to pick up Zahara by S.J. Jones. I really enjoyed S.J. Jones's Winter Song? Shadow Song? I think it was Winter Song was the first one, which was a little bit like a labyrinth retelling. I never followed up with the second book in the duology, and I always meant to, but now she has this series, which I think is currently a quartet, and it's, you know, it's doing Sailor Moon by way of It Says Cinder, which sounds really interesting. I was such a Sailor Moon fan. I still love the aesthetic, and I think the whole magical girl thing is just something I would be really up for this summer. And this cover definitely fits that naturey, beautiful aesthetic vibe.
5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What did I say purples are? Goals. So that'll be another NetGalley arc.
I completely forgot about this one until it came time for editing, so I'm going to pick She Knows All the Names by Michelle Habes Corpora. It is the sequel to His Face the Sun,
And
which I
then
read a
hopefully
couple
this
of
is
months
my
ago
last
and
roll.
rated 5 stars.
1, 2, and the 3 was all I needed, but it got me to the end. Okay, so I got there. I eventually caught up with you.
So if I end up pulling a penguin card, have 3 possibilities ready. I'll just call right in to pick one of your possibilities for you.
Okay, give me 2 seconds till I think of 3 possibilities. Oh my god, why can I not think of a single book I've ever owned? Give me 2 seconds and I will quickly go and look at my bookshelf and pick like 3 standalones. Okay, I literally just grabbed 3 completely at random, so I'm ready.
Oh, we got a penguin card. Do you have your possibilities ready?
I do. Okay, so I have this one, the Legend of Lady Bisoka. Not entirely sure how it's pronounced, but there's that one.
Mm-hmm.
There's I Want That Twink Obliterated. These are short stories. I actually read a couple for like World Book Night, but there's like another 20 in it, so that's an option too.
Right.
And then the third one would be The Fourth Consort by Edward Ashton. This is a sci-fi as well, actually.
All right, I'll call Ray in.
Right?
Ray, we need you.
Summoned?
Yes, you were summoned.
What's up?
So, at the very end of the game, I was able to pick a prompt card from my deck for Louise. And I pulled a penguin card. So she has 3 possibilities to give you. And you're going to pick one of the possibilities that she's got.
Okay.
All right, so go ahead, Louise. Let him know which ones you got.
So we have The Legend of Lady Biosca by Heather Park. I think this is a historical fantasy, Asian inspired. Then we have I Want That Twink Obliterated by Trip Gailey. It's a collection of short stories that are sci-fi queer pulp. And then I have The Fourth Consort by Edward Ashton, which is a sci-fi.
Ooh. I'll do The Fourth
Fourth Consort. Great. Thank you so much, Ray.
There you go. There's your Ray pick for you.
That was awesome.
Thanks, Ray.
Thank you. Thank you, Ray.
Nice. You got a good one.
I did.
So for my punishment or Amanda's reward, whatever way you want to look at it, Ray picked a book for me, and the three I picked were so random. They were just the first three that were sitting on my shelf because I hadn't been expecting to have to provide 3 books at that time. And the book that he picked for me was The Fourth Consort by Edward Ashton. I've been really looking forward to this one since I read Ashton's newer book. You know, I'm not usually a massive sci-fi fan, but this one has kind of first contact, culture clash, kind of a marriage of convenience, but I don't think it's a romance, and lots of politicking. So I think I actually will really enjoy this one. It's not too chunky, which makes me think it should be pretty accessible. Dalton Greaves is a hero. He's one of humanity's first representatives to unity, a pan-species confederation working to bring all sentient life into a single benevolent brotherhood. That's what they told him anyway. The only actual members of Unity that he's ever met are Borrow, a giant snail who seems more interested in plunder than spreading love and harmony, and Borrow's human sidekick Nira, whom Dalton strongly suspects roped him into this gig so that she wouldn't be the next one of Borrow's crew to get eaten by locals while prospecting. Funnily enough though, turns out there actually is a benevolent confederation out there working for the good of all life. They call themselves the Assembly, and they really don't like Unity. More to the point, they really don't like Unity's new human minions. When an encounter between Borrow's scout ship and an Assembly cruiser over a newly discovered world ends badly for both parties, Dalton finds himself marooned. To survive, he'll need to navigate palace intrigue, alien morality, and a proposal that he literally cannot refuse, all while making sure Nira doesn't come to the conclusion that he's worth more to her dead than alive. So this sounds really good, and it's so rare that I find a sci-fi I'm genuinely so excited about. I'm really glad that this is going on my TBR this month.
I can't believe I got your penguin card. That's like such... It's kind of perfect. Like...
Right? It kind of suits the game in a way.
It does, and it's nice that it's like the most unique part of your TBR game that I get a little bit of that in. So that's worked so well.
Right? Yeah, I just counted all the ones that I've got. I got 10 on the list.
10. That's... I didn't feel
It's
like
actually
it was
not
that
bad.
many, but like that's a nice number. It's doable. Well, thank you
It's
so
fun.
much for joining me and for playing along. Yeah. So thank you.
This was so much fun. Thanks for having me.
You're very welcome. And I hope that we can chat again soon.
Yeah, looking forward to it.
I'll definitely see you in your Discord.
I'll be there.
So I did say that I had the Cozy Mystery Book Club pick that I wanted to read this month. I don't think I have any other book clubs or buddy reads in mind at the moment, but I am probably going to do the Avatar 4 Nations readathon, which runs twice a year. Bi-yearly. It runs twice a year in January and July. Basically, it's very chill because everyone's working at their own pace on their own projects. You read books to gradually level up and achieve each kind of avatar elemental master status. I, so far, have spent about 3 years, and I'm still working through the Earth Kingdom route, but I think this might be the month I finish it. I have 3 books and I'll have hit Earth Kingdom mastery, and I can either decide to go on to the next element or I can just cut my losses here. But for this, I still need to read a book that's over 650 pages, so we're going to be getting Blood and Gold by Anne Rice in there. And then the other 2 prompts didn't fit with anything else I had on my TBR, so they are going to be additional books. But one is a book with traitor in the title, so I'll be reading the Traitor Baru Cormorant by Steph Dickinson. And the other prompt is to read a book with a fan on the cover, so I'll be picking up Crown Jewel by Sherwood Smith. Both of these books, I've been told, are very political in very different ways, so they should be right up my alley. I really hope that I'm going to get to them, but those avatar reads are going to, I think, be the second priority, and I'm going to focus on my TBR spins. Thank you so much for watching this video. Thank you to Amanda for agreeing to play the Tailspin board with me and being just so organised and so brave as to do it live on camera. I don't even know where to begin with that. If you'd like to see more of these TBR videos, let me know. If you have any thoughts on any of the books that me or Amanda have talked about in the video, definitely let us know anything you've been thinking in the comments. And I hope that I'll see you in the next video and the next TBR video next month. Thank you for watching. Bye.